welcome to the third review of the evening. Game called Robozarro. To break that title down, you are a robot of a professor named Dr. Zarro. Hence, Robozarro.
So the robot actually has a name too, which is
right. I believe the actual the actual name of the robot is like BO3.
No, BO3 is the eyeball dude.
Okay, yeah, BO3. Then the other one's Zero Ramtron.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Robozarro is a physics-based 2D action game, 2D platformer mostly. Although there's also some shooting as well.
And quite a bit, including that's most of what the physics is.
Yeah, although physics is related into things dropping and such. Anyway, so we were given the Nintendo Switch version of this game. So that means it's over to the Galax.
It's not super switchy, honestly, even if it does allegedly have HD rumble that I never heard felt go off. You can't use the touch screen for some of the menu screens where there are theoretically options for that, since it lets you use your targeting reticle to select things. But yeah, on its surface, this is kind of an interesting game. You're some robots that belong to an old lady in a city that's run by some sort of corrupt robot program. You're presumably doing anarchy or pseudo-terrorism related stuff, although frankly I didn't quite get that far. So it's an interesting setup in general, but the controls are weird. So you move with the left stick is fine, aim with the right stick is fine. Right bumper and right trigger are both shoot, but they're different kinds of shoot. The trigger is a charge shot, and the bumper is a faster gun. Once you get a gun. And not every gun has both of those options. And there are also pickups that let you can pick up or buy charge shots, which let you use your charge shot when you press the charge shot button without charging up, and rapid fire bullets, which shoot faster. And then there's also grenades. And as you go through the game, you get gadgets that let you interact with the environment, such as the first one you get is a straight vertical grappling arm that you can then swing around on. So what Pettyfan's doing right now is giving me flashbacks to one of the things that I hate most about this game, which is that as with a twin stick shooter, you don't turn around when you start moving in the other direction. You have to actively turn to face. You have to actively twitch your aiming reticle to face in the other direction, even if you start moving in that direction, which always seems pretty awkward to me. But yeah, there's a weapon wheel where you can do a thing where you quick select your weapon, except for the fact weapons and gadgets. But the weapons and gadgets are on the same wheel, and in order to select them, you don't just go over them on the wheel. You have to then press the confirm button, which is a little bit awkward when you're already holding a trigger to get into the weapon wheel to start with. There's also rotate left and right buttons for your weapons, although that can also select ones that are one of the things on that is nothing selected, which is a little awkward. There's a flashlight. There's a highlight all interactable things on the screen button. And then just some kind of questionable placements of where the interact button is the top face button. Grenades are on the right face button. I honestly can't even remember what left face button is, but no, left face button is gadget. I'd rather have like shoot on left face button or something and gadget on the other shoulder button, maybe. I don't know. You can't configure the controls on this version, so I don't think you can on other versions either, but on a PC you could like, hey computer, when I push this button, that means I'm pushing the shoulder button. Got it? Uh, which honestly might be worth it. Some of the physics is a little bit janky. Like you can't always figure out exactly how you're supposed to do stuff. I got basically as far as and when you get into fights, uh, the second gun you get is basically the gravity gun from Half-Life 2, where it picks things up and then shoots them. And you have to use that to solve a lot of puzzles, but also some enemies pretty much only take damage when you throw objects at them, but also like only at the right time. So I found it really kind of awkward. Also, the game has 4 different item currencies, which are screws, I think it's acid, gasoline, and batteries. Batteries are pretty much only used for puzzles, but different combination of screws, acid, and gas are used to purchase life increases. Well, fills. You start off with 50 life out of, I think you could hold 100. Sorry, I'm. So yeah, different combinations of that, extra rapid fire ammo, extra charge shots, and grenades. So yeah, overall, I mean, like I wanted to like this game more than I did. But like the controls are really awkward when you get in fights. It's awkward because like the enemies can move really fast, and well, honestly, when I first started playing, I didn't realize that like when you look at the controls, there's one thing that looks like charge attack and one that says gun, and they both kind of point to the right shoulder area, so I didn't realize they were different. Yeah, the physics for pushing blocks is a little awkward too. Like you have to get up a good head of steam to be able to push them at all, but that doesn't come up much, especially since you get to pick up blocks fairly soon. There's a lot of jumping puzzles where you have to get across an acid thing, or you have to get weight on pressure plates either simultaneously or just at all. It's a cool game, but I just found the controls super awkward and not as responsive as they needed to be for the speed at which certain enemies can shoot and or charge at you, especially given that some enemies it's rather difficult to figure out how to kill. You're being shot in the back by that turret thing.
I got it.
Okay. Did anybody have any questions or feedback to help me figure out where I'm going from there?
Like, yeah, I played this game a bit myself, and it's no less awkward on the PC either. Like, it's got a very like European 90s Amiga platformer feel to it.
Yeah, you're kind of slippery because of the physics thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to the first like actual boss, and I could not figure out the ways to deal damage to it, because you can drop spikes on it, which work, but there are only so many spikes. Charge shots work a little bit, but it retaliates after a certain point, and you just can't like hit it anymore because you're trying to use the thing to hold from the ceiling to keep the acid from attacking you from below. I looked up a video, and apparently the like little things on the side of the screen that look like they're just scenery can be damaged, and also you can suck up some of the acid in the acid pit and shoot it at him. So
It's the acid. Like you get the acid from the acid pit and you shoot it at him.
right,
Like,
but that was not very well marked as an interactable. I guess I could have used the interactable object detector thing, but like fucking, I'm being shot at.
no, I know, I know. But yeah,
So that's as far as I got, and I afterwards looked up the solution and then didn't feel like booting the game back up again because controlling it is just an exercise in frustration, even though I kind of wanted to like it because it seems kind of cool in some ways.
yeah.
This thing that Petty Fan just got to now, where you find your first fucking spider bot dispenser, killed me 5 times before I figured out how to get over there and shoot at the thing without walking into a goddamn wall of spider bots that self-destruct when they touch you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like you're supposed to push the block over or something, but every time I tried to do that, I got it pushed back against me by like 15 like they have a limited number of spider bots it poops out until you destroy more. But the spider bots can push harder than you can.
See, the key is to jump up on like one of the girders.
I was trying to use the block to get up on the higher of the 2 platforms, because when I was standing on the lower of the 2 platforms that you can shoot from, it was dropping spider bots directly on my head, which was no good. Also, keep in mind this was still at the point where the game had not adequately instructed me that there was a non-charged shot.
Right. Like, this game is some less than.
It's a cool idea, but it needs like a version 3 or something.
Yeah.
Like more than just one revision before I feel like it would actually be fun to play.
Mm. Anyway, so in terms of pricing, well, we got a discrepancy going on here because, well, the console versions were handled by a different entity than the PC version. On PC, this game is $4.99. You can also get the soundtrack for $3.99. Total package about $7, $7.18. The Switch version, console version, $6.99. So, difference of $2. Not a huge difference, but it is there. Like, basically, the console version costs about as much as the deluxe version of the game on PC. But honestly, like, I can't recommend this game at either price. It's kind of hard to get across in video and screenshots, but it's just so much clunkier than you think it would be.
Yeah, again, I really wanted to like this. It's cool. I even kind of like this genre where you're like doing like platforming puzzles and stuff, but when you're trying to do friggin' grappling hooks to grab to the ceiling, but the ceiling is covered in spikes, which fall if you grapple onto them too long, and also because you can't adjust the length of your grappler until after you reach a certain shortness, you usually bang your head on the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can technically shoot down the spikes in some places, but also one thing, and I did find the way that it handled the charge shots interestingly. Your charge shot meter goes up to 100, and using a charge shot is 60 of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use a charge shot, and then after a short amount of time, you can use another charge shot. But if you do that, you won't be able to use a third charge shot for much longer.
Right, without letting it charge up.
Right, and if you try to charge up a charge shot while you don't have enough energy, it still consumes the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a little bit frustrating sometimes when you're trying to fight quickly. But so yeah.
Anyway,
it has a lot of neat ideas, but the controls need to be like completely redone, and the physics need an adjustment too, I think.
Just that. Anyway,
I mean, I really enjoyed the thematic setting and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, Petty, any additional commentary from you?
Nah, it's not great.
You seem to be in agreement here. Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for Robozarro here. Be sure to tune in after the break as Twilight will be reviewing Something Ate My Alien.